Here's my selection of March of the Legion. This is the first World of Warcraft TCG set in the second block. So Legion is the name on the cards, but it's really March of the Legion. I've had time to thin out these sets that I have a lot of cards of into singles. So this is really as close as I could come to a complete set. I mentioned in a previous video that I have bought a complete set of Legion. I was wrong. The set that I bought a complete set for is Drums of War. And so I've already also gotten Drums of War, the whole block, ready for these videos. So I can make, as time permits, videos for the first 9 sets of World of Warcraft. There are a total of 21. So let's get going with these. These are the quests for this set. Of course, these are not complete. I'm missing a few cards. I probably am missing something like 30 or 40 cards for this set. If I catch something that I've seen in Hearthstone, I'll make a mention of it. Again, it's a real shame that this TCG was canceled, but it made sense. It was a really good business decision by Blizzard, not a good decision for people like myself. But yeah, I mean, this TCG sold in big box stores along Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon and Magic. It was not like Force of Will, where AMJ Holdings tried to sell packs of 2 of the sets and they just didn't sell. The sets would sell in big box stores. As the this TCG World of Warcraft was going down, I was interested in it. This is one of these loot cards. I kept calling them mounts, but only some of them are mounts in the game, some are not. And this is just a loot card. Alright, and it's not scratched up, it's brand new. It's the way it came out of a pack. I bought loose packs, which is fine for what I wanted to do, but if I had gotten serious collecting, I think I should have done booster boxes, because for reasons that I can totally understand, whoever sold me the loose packs had already pulled the more important loot cards, because I managed to pull many loot cards. I think I have like 10 altogether, close to that, and they all happen to be, not by coincidence, all the loot cards that are not worth any money. So when I show you guys and girls any loot cards from these selections that I'm making videos, and they're all in the same playlist, beginning with the first set. So I think I'm gonna make it to the first 9 sets and probably call it quits and then pick it up, I don't know, later. But yeah, I don't have any of the money loot cards. So these are the heroes for this set that I have. I don't have all of them. I think this is where I started, and I'll show a few of the arts from the backs, not all of them, just so you can see. They're all the same. It's just a bigger version of the artwork. Okay, then let's keep going with the abilities. Put my pile right here. Again, these are in during the UDE era, so the cards have a different back than they would get later when they would get the Blizzard logo when Cryptozoic was making them. And I think the Cryptozoic ever put their mark. Yeah, they did. So here's a Cryptozoic card, and no, they didn't. No, they didn't. So see, Cryptozoic cards have the Blizzard logo. The ones that UDE used to print have the UDE logo in the lower right hand side corner. UDE, then Cryptozoic. Okay, so let me put those in the correct piles and keep going. And these cards, especially from the early sets, lend themselves to a really cool deck building. I actually did build some decks. Of course, I never had the opportunity to play it at my local game store. Never went to a pre-release for it. Nothing like that. I did lurk in a forum for World of Warcraft. Oh, this artwork is definitely in Hearthstone. Of course, I don't think it's called scraps, and the Hearthstone card is very different. It was one of the ones that actually had to be changed because it was too powerful in Hearthstone. I used to lurk in that forum, and one of the things that players, competitive players, were complaining about endlessly in the last year of the TCG was how the company would host tournaments and then would not pay out. There were payouts for winning certain levels. I guess I don't remember what the levels were, but definitely if you won the tournament, you were due a prize from the company, from Blizzard, from Cryptozoic. And it was just endless number of comments from players who had done well in competitions, begging for their winnings, basically. And that was really a sore point of the TCG as it was going down. Another mark that it was going down is whole blocks, like the whole block where War of the Elements and World Breaker and Twilight is in. That whole block, if you look at the rulers, they're very generic. You can tell that somebody just spent like 10 minutes designing them, and all those sets sold for nothing. They were really, and they were not, I don't think they were good for players. So there were many problems with the TCG. It just didn't sell well. That was really the bottom line. And going digital into Hearthstone proved to be a great idea. Unfortunately, for collectors like myself, of course, if oh, I do have a dupe. There we go. I try to not have dupes. For collectors like yours truly, I want the cards to collect. Deck build and play also, but really I'm at heart a collector. Hence the name of my channel. But yep, so 21 sets, 7 years. That's what it made it to. And 2 different printers. But no independence from whoever was developing the game. The game was developed as a contract gig. And so that was I think a great weakness of the structure of how this game played out. That first UDE and then Cryptozoic were not the creators of the intellectual property. They were really just licensees. So abilities, I think, are a lot like sorceries in Magic. And of course, instant abilities are a lot like instants in Magic. This artwork definitely was repurposed for, what are they called? Murlocs in Hearthstone. Definitely, I remember that from playing the game. And as I mentioned in some of the other videos, at some point I just run out of things to say. And I'm going a little slow. This is a big set. I'm not sure if I'm going to make my 15-minute mark, and I'm not sure if I want to have 2 videos, but I'm halfway through it. I don't think there's any way that I'm going to make it to 15 minutes in my gigantic pile that I have. So I already know I'm going to split this video into 2. Let me make it to at least a 10-minute mark and then keep going. I'd love to get some comments on these videos, because I do get lots of hits on the very small number of World of Warcraft TCG videos that I have in my channel. And as I mentioned in another video, to this day, my starter deck for Heroes of Azeroth, the little box that looks like a VHS tape box, is my #1 video, and it gets hits all the time. All the time. As we speak, it's being viewed by somebody. And so I think this was also a artwork that was used for Hearthstone, if I remember correctly. Oh, and this one for sure. Yeah, I think so. I seem to remember it. And maybe even this guy. I don't know. Of course, I stopped playing Hearthstone like about a year and a half ago. Every now and then I come back and I play a few games. But I've been busy doing other things. Same way that I never really went hardcore on this particular game, on World of Warcraft. Okay, I'm going to stop here, and this is going to be my marking card. And in the next video, I'll start with this one, but I will move on with the other cards.